much for giving me an opportunity to speak at the Labour Law Symposium. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is I mean, if you think about all the progressive organizations in this country are working on this, but one of the stats which I read before coming is that Pakistan ranks the lowest in women participation in the workforce. However, at the same time, when you look at the enrollment of women in the higher education, it far outnumbers men. So even as a competitive part, if you want to attract talent, you have to be more inclusive. You have to be more attractive workplace for talented workforce, because all of the corporate sector strives for its excellence and maximizing. The organizations that I have worked for, including my existing organization, is making a lot of taking a lot of steps in terms of flexible hours, because that's what is more important. If you think about I mean, gender diversity, it is very, very important, because you need to allow people to be able to manage their own schedule. It's no longer that industrial age we lived in on the factory floors, so the population of the services sector has grown manyfold. One of the organizations that I work for, they had a large number, they started the daycare as well. So a lot more women did not take time off or had to take a break in their career. In terms of the diversity of the skill, I think one of the things the corporates need to work towards is that we are attracted towards the shining institutions, which Vice Chancellor Sahab also referred to, that people want to go to the business universities, want to go to law universities, and people want to hire from the creme de la creme in the country as well. So they have a benchmark. So I remember we had a rice plant, and they said we cannot get enough people because these category A universities candidates don't actually are attracted towards working in the rice field or collecting rice for the company. So I think that is also a diversity. So I have heard comments by executives saying, oh, this guy doesn't know how to dress, but that shouldn't matter. I mean, the same guy, I was working for a mining company, ended up working for the largest mining company in the world in Australia, and he's back now working for the same mining company. So that is also a diversity. So somebody's background, socioeconomic background, you don't know his experiences. You have to be very, very sensitive to that part as well. So what we are focusing as a corporate is primarily on the gender diversity, and I think those initiatives have picked up, but broadening the people in terms of the inclusion of people from other universities, because if you see, all top corporates have a categorization of where they are going to recruit from. So they will go to the LUMs or the UETs or the NUSs of this country, but nobody you would ever hear. In our company, we are a plant in downstream Mangla, and one of the things we have categorically said that we want to hire local, and Mirpur University of Science and Technology, and also the women. So I can proudly say that we have a women engineer on the Hydro plant as well, because if they're local, the policies are towards that. You can include them there as well. I think the likes of initiatives like sabbatical, if your career is taking a break, you allow people to take sabbatical, take a year off or 6 months off and come back, and companies giving you that assurance is a good thing as well. In terms of skill development, I think as an organization, we do spend a lot on the leadership potential people, but the 2 or 3 initiatives I would like to speak about our organization, because some of our plants are in the locations which are not metropolis. So we operate the largest power plant in Balochistan, which has been there for 20 years, but now we are setting up another 1320 megawatts, which is going to have about 400, 500 people with a Chinese partner. So we are already sponsoring children from Las Bela district in the Hunar Foundation, 20 or 40 people per class, which we are training, but without compromising on our standards. We are giving them opportunities, sponsoring them, allowing them to come and do internships, but then we are going to only allow it to be on certain criteria, because otherwise there is a risk of being a quota system organization. But if you can empower them, they can be involved not in a full direct employment, they can be part in an indirect employment as well, contract workforce. Similarly, we have a power plant in Narowal. So we are now including UT Narwal and doing a lot of those things as well. We are setting up TCF schools because you need to do an early adoption. You need to allow people to gain that skill, get that quality education, because the government school system is it working in the metropolises, let alone in the far-flung or the areas which are not in the spotlight. So I think this is very important, and I personally have been beneficial of a sabbatical policy of the company. And my wife went for a master's. I mean, it's also person to person as well. So the company can have all the grand vision and everything, but that comes down to your immediate supervisor or the leadership. So when I said I'm going to take a sabbatical, we were in the US for 2 years, my boss said, what do you want to do? And I said, we have a young family, we can't be split. He said, is there a way we can work out and you can work remotely? And I said, yes, we can talk about it. And I worked 2 years, and there was not a single day when my physical presence became an impediment. And I was doing fertilizer trade, commodities trade, very. So I think the policy was there, but how it was interpreted by the immediate persons, that's also a training that we need to do in the corporate sector. In terms of the harassment, I think when we think about harassment, we think about an extreme case. I think it's about holding someone, miss a family event, or giving unrealistic timelines, expecting people to stay until 11, and especially women. You would see a lot less women in finance. So every time you would think that in terms of his gender, you would see, she can be a good person for HR. And in a way, it's actually a harassment. You don't expect someone to work 9 to 5 and do well as well. So I think we need to champion that as well. And I see a lot more people taking it up, but until and unless as a leader you make it your goal, I don't think you can bring a change, because a lot of these programs I've seen are there for the outside audience, but internally things don't improve that much that it should be. Sorry for taking that long, but we are doing a lot of steps, but I think it's not enough. As I said, that the more and more women are entering workspace, and until and unless we do all of this, we wouldn't be at a level where we desire to be, and we would be missing the talent out.
Thank you, Kamran sir. I think you really again touched on some of those issues which we don't really look at when we are looking at what needs to be done. And we were just discussing with Justice Hava sitting upstairs. She was here at 8:30, one of those who really was on time. And we were discussing this whole issue of how to really go and unpack the sexual harassment, understanding of the sexual harassment at the workplace.